Ryan Garcia is putting in relentless work in his camp, and with Rolando Romero helping him during training, together they are sharpening his focus, speed, and confidence as he prepares for Mario Barrios.
So for this camp, in any given day, Ryan wakes up and he runs like Forrest Gump. And he doesn't have to, but he does.
How you feel?
Amazing.
He said 7 punches not gonna do it. I said, if you didn't put in the contract that I can't throw more than 7 punches, then I'd throw more than that.
Because Ryan is an elite fighter, he's a knockout artist, among the best fighters in the world today. They want to take every step to try to control the amount of strength he's going to have the next day.
The day you sparring Ryan, it was 2 days, right?
Yeah. Just like one day he like forgot his tampon and he just started bleeding all over the place. So yeah. 52 years, bro. And it's in the hood, bro. It hasn't closed down yet. You wanna know why? Because this place is good. Way more explain. Ryan's fast as shit. Ain't nobody gonna say Ryan's not one of the fastest fighters. And I look way faster at 47, way more explosive, way more durable.
Hey, go forward now. Yeah. Ahí, ándale, tipo, arriba, abajo y arriba. Arriba, abajo, eso. Adelante y atrás. Échale, hijo, 5 minutes here. And 1 and 1.
Ryan Garcia focuses on speed and power in training camp, sharpening skills with relentless daily.
Stop! Una, 2, 3. Y luego 4 y 5. Las clases de la 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Y aquí. Still, bueno, ya. 3, 4, 5. Y ahora. After. 3, 4, 5.
Rolando Romero joins Ryan Garcia's training camp, driving intensity each day, sharpening speed, power, and focus with relentless dedication. Ryan Garcia emphasizes the importance of surrounding himself with positive, experienced people in camp, keeping him motivated and focused.
Whenever somebody's tired or feeling down that day, we're picking each other up.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
We feel so good. We're in this together.
We're like the same person, different hair color.
It's just good to have like-minded people that are ready to take advantage of the opportunities, and we're not going to let it slip. We're all building our own legacy, and when we get in the ring, you guys are going to see something special.
Like that. Nice.
Rolando Romero and Ryan Garcia, having sparred before, now train together with mutual respect, supporting each other's growth daily. Mario Barrios remains confident, stressing his experience and longer ring presence, claiming every advantage against Ryan Garcia in this fight.
The advantages I have coming to this fight is just overall just like everything. You know, my experience, you know, who I've been in the ring with, who I faced. I think, you know, the boxing IQ, I think I have that on my side. You know, heart. I think, yeah.
He does have experience, more experience.
His dad, which I'm not saying the dad is not, you know, the dad brought him through the amateurs, but when he left his dad or went to seek a different trainer, before he came back to his dad, he went through 3 different trainers. Wow. That means all 3 are not good enough to, you know, they're all 3 are the best in the world.
Here's the question. Did Ryan Garcia ever allow those trainers to be the boss?
That's why he's back with his dad, because he's the boss. That's why.
Yeah.
Look, Joe Goosen, I know Joe Goosen. My brother used to train with him. He's not gonna just let you get away with stuff like that. Derek James shouldn't either. Eddie Reynoso doesn't need. He's made so much money with Canelo that if you want to come to me, it's gonna be under my rules. Mm-hmm. And if that didn't work, then Ryan's back. So that's I give that big.
Max Kellerman and Robert Garcia shared honest reactions to the announcement of Ryan Garcia versus Mario Barrios and focused heavily on Ryan's training situation rather than pure talent. They pointed out that Garcia is currently working with his father instead of high-profile trainers like Eddie Reynoso, Derek James, or Joe Goosen. Robert Garcia explained that Ryan's father guided him through a strong amateur foundation, so the experience is real, but he questioned why Garcia moved through several elite coaches before returning home. To him, that pattern suggests problems with structure and authority inside camp. Kellerman raised an important question about discipline. He wondered whether Garcia ever fully allowed those respected trainers to take control because top coaches demand rules, accountability, and consistency. Fighters cannot simply choose what they want to do each day. Robert added that trainers like Reynoso or James already train champions and will not bend standards for anyone. If a boxer cannot accept that leadership, progress becomes difficult. Both analysts suggested this instability could give Mario Barrios an edge. Barrios is known for steady preparation, size, and ring experience, and structure inside camp may determine the fight's outcome.
Barrios to even pull that off.
See, that's the thing about boxing, and Big Baby Miller pointed it out, because there's no structure. And hopefully that'll happen with Zuffa Boxing, and I am a part of Zuffa Boxing, full disclosure. You know, the first fight coming up on the 23rd.
Oh, congrats, man.
But you need some
I got
kind
you guys
of.
On that card,
there
so
you go.
Good.
You need some kind of.
Right?
So, well, the undercard has not been announced yet, but yeah, we could talk about
what his names, but yeah.
But we need some kind of structure. In the NFL, the guy has to sit there for the media interview. He shows up on time. Yep. He's got to do it. Yep. And to give you an NFL analogy, think about the Broncos, right? When they had Russell Wilson over there and he had his own office and everything, and it was nothing. It was dysfunctional. Then they hired Sean Payton.
Cut it out.
As a coach, that's like going to train with Goosen or going to train with a world-class trainer, right? And you knew as soon as Sean Payton got there, ain't no one's going to have their own office, and you turn around a couple years later.
Interesting answer. I always wonder who makes a fighter, right? Especially in boxing, combat sports. Is it a coach that makes the fighter or the fighter that makes the coach? Now, Joe Goosen has a track record of being a high-level boxing coach. We know that. But do coaches change or do they implement what they know to fighters and fighters change for coaches? Because this will be the crux of what happens here. Can Joe Goosen, not to call Mario Barrios old, but can he teach an old dog new tricks? Can he give him something that Bob Santos hasn't? Sure. Can he give him more info about what Ryan likes to do? Absolutely. But will it be enough to prepare him for what Ryan knows that Joe knows? And how Joe trains fighters, and how Joe runs a camp, and how rigid he might be. And even that last part, Ryan's talking about information leaking maybe from Joe, or that Joe was leaking information about Barrios, or about, I'm not sure who he was talking about, Ryan, about Barrios, but Ryan.
Boxing analyst Wade Plemons offered a thoughtful perspective on the upcoming Ryan Garcia versus Mario Barrios clash. He raised the timeless question, does a coach make the fighter, or does the fighter make the coach? Plemons highlighted Joe Goosen's long track record as a respected boxing trainer, noting his ability to shape fighters. Barrios now working under Goosen. The analyst questioned whether the veteran veteran coach could provide new tools or insights that Barrios had not previously received from Bob Santos. Clemens also pointed out the intrigue of Garcia's confidence, suggesting Ryan believes he already understands what Barrios and his camp intend to do, and hinted at Garcia's claims of knowing inside details about Barrios' preparation, though the significance of such information remains uncertain. Ultimately, Clemens emphasized that the fight is not only about physical skill, but also about the relationship between coach and fight. Can Goossen instill fresh strategies in Barrios? Or will Garcia's familiarity with Goossen's methods give him the edge? The analysis underscores how experience, preparation, and the coach-fighter dynamic made Garcia and Barrios finally meet in the...
Now, the chaos in the corner, or not maybe chaos, but kind of misdirection in the corner of the Manny Pacquiao fight, where Bob Santos is saying one thing and other cornermen are saying, that are, you know, a part of Mario's kind of OG team, are saying another. I think it's pretty well known that I would assume well known that Mario Barrios' dad used to train him, and I don't know if he was in the corner or it was somebody else, but there was a miscommunication, it seemed like, from even the people in the corner around the strategy of the Barrios fight or what they wanted to do against Manny Pacquiao. And let's just say I heard from sources there were a lot of frustrations that came out of that fight with how Barrios went into that fight, how he performed in that fight, and how directions were listened to from either one side or the other. It felt like it was a bit of a confusing thing. So when you have that kind of a situation, you feel like you need to make a move. One person's going to get left out in the dust, and it's probably not someone that's either one, you're...
Our strength and conditioning coach will lock it in, Ryan will lock it in, and we're back to 140. Solid. But that's a strong possibility. I'm not kidding you. I am not kidding you. And we talked about that.
It changes things.
Yeah. And I mean this. I mean this 100% sincerely. That we could make 140.
Because when you guys fought Haney, you guys were not necessarily you guys, but he was drinking, he was doing all these other things that...
Exactly, yeah, forget about that and forget about the Rolly, because I'm telling you, that was not Ryan. This is Ryan. This is Ryan. You're going to see Ryan. This is going to be Ryan. And you're going to say, man, he looks good. His weight is good. And his strength is unbelievable.
Ryan Garcia's trainer spoke confidently about his fighter's discipline and weight management, insisting that this camp looks completely different from the past. He explained that once Garcia locks in mentally, everything else follows. Turning to the 140-pound division is a realistic and strong possibility. He stressed that Garcia can comfortably make the limit without struggle and still maintain strength, and Enner also admitted that during the Devin Haney fight camp, Garcia was not fully focused and allowed distractions to affect preparation. This time, however, the mindset is sharper and more professional. He believes fans will notice a leaner frame, better stamina, and explosive power on fight night. The team even mentioned that 147 is not far from 140, so dropping down without harsh rehydration rules should not be a problem. Overall, the message was clear. A disciplined and dedicated Ryan Garcia is back, and a stronger version is ready to perform at his...
Not too far off from 140. So there's a strong possibility without rehydration calls, we could probably drop down to 140 with no problem.
And make the fight happen at 40 instead.
Absolutely. And
then you guys can rehydrate whatever you guys want from there.
I mean, listen, this is another thing that I've been seeing, and this is kind of interesting, is that, yeah, you got to rehydrate, of course, absolutely. Now, how far you can rehydrate? I would love to be over 7-8 pounds. Some go 10, some go 12, some even go 15, but they do rehydrate. But when you're in shape, in total fitness, I think the most you could hydrate is 7 or 8 pounds. I'm not kidding you. When you're in excellent shape.
Style 10-second, 15-second clips, because Ryan very well could have had similar clips before the Rolly fight, but then he ends up losing to Rolly in New York. So for me, when I see sparring clips or brief edited clips online, I don't necessarily factor that in too much into what is to be the outcome, because the fact of the matter is, for Mario Barrios, I haven't really seen many clips from him at all. So training footage is very selective by nature. You're usually going to see the best moments plucked out, highlights, specific drills, things that would make someone look good. It don't really tell the full story about conditioning, weight cutting, or readiness. But what it does or can give you is an overall, like a snapshot of where the fighter is mentally, physically. Ryan does look like he's in good.
Analysts caution fans against reading too much into short training clips of Ryan Garcia circulating online. 15-second highlight or even a 1-minute montage cannot truly reveal how prepared a fighter is for a 12-round contest. These videos are carefully edited to showcase speed, power, and sharp combinations while concealing the tougher realities of camp, such as fatigue, weight cutting, and conditioning struggles. As a result, the footage often presents an incomplete picture. Analysts noted that Garcia appeared impressive in similar clips before his loss to Rolando Romero in New York, yet the outcome inside the ring told a different story. That example demonstrates that highlights alone do not predict fight results. In contrast, very little training footage of Mario Barrios has surfaced, making direct comparisons even more difficult. Still, the clips offer a glimpse into Garcia's mindset. He appears focused, fit, and serious about preparation. Mentally and physically, he seems sharper. However, Barrios remains a respected and experienced welterweight, known for his durability and size. Ultimately, these snippets are only observations, not guarantees. The real answers will come on fight night, when preparation meets reality, and both fighters must prove themselves.
Very much looking forward to the fight. I think Ryan Garcia really needs to impress here because he's coming off of a loss to Rolando Romero. And we all know in the world of boxing that back-to-back losses can really drive you down the ladder. So I am enjoying what I'm seeing regarding Ryan Garcia as he gears up for this particular fight. Ryan Garcia, his discipline has been in question in the past, but right now it looks like he's trying to really make a statement. He posted this via his official social media. This is Ryan's page, evident by the blue check mark. Quote, "Maybe you aren't my speed. Some shots throughout camp, the finish line is approaching."
Ryan Garcia does become a world champion. It just makes it more interesting. Legacy reigns supreme. I said the last year that coming into 2026, to sustain the sport of boxing, to captivate the imagination, the emotions, and the interest of the boxing fans and casuals outside of the sport of boxing, we need the names versus the names. Relevant versus relevant. We need people that people recognize. We need the fans to recognize these names and they will be interested. Ladies and gentlemen, Ryan Garcia beating Mario Barrios is good for the sport of boxing. It's good for this young generation because let's be real, let's be honest. Mario Barrios is not going to cut it and keep the interest of the sport of boxing. He hasn't done it. He's been in big fights and he have not seized the moment. You Dennis Ugas, yeah, but it didn't seize the moment. We need interest. Ladies and gentlemen, American boxing is dying. A lot of people is not investing in American boxing. Let's be
Greatness in boxing is defined not only by victories, but by legacy. If Ryan Garcia becomes a world champion, the sport gains a recognizable name capable of captivating fans both inside and outside boxing circles. Analysts argue that to sustain boxing's relevance in 2026 and beyond, we need great names versus great names fighters whose identities resonate with audiences. Garcia defeating Mario Barrios would energize younger generations and bring renewed attention to American boxing. Barrios, though experienced, has struggled to seize defining moments in past high-profile fights. Garcia, by contrast, carries mainstream appeal that can attract casual fans and investors back to the sport. Recent events prove that when recognizable fighters meet, for boxing to thrive, legacy must reign supreme, and recognizable champions like Garcia are essential to reigniting passion and investment in American boxing.